The United States Marine Corps is known around the world for its toughness and tenacity. That tradition continues today in the southern Afghan province of Helmand. The 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit came here to push out the Taliban. What started out as a 7-day mission turned into many months. It's hot in this desert region all year round. At times, temperatures rise above 120 degrees.
It's pretty intense. There's really no way to escape the heat but drink water and sweat all over yourself.
When I joined Bravo Company 1-6 Marines at Strong Point Alpha, it was already 120 degrees by noon. Marines stripped down to their shorts and escaped to shade wherever possible. Hot wind kicked up dust that covered everything with grime. The men did their best to keep their equipment clean, a losing battle.
I've been wearing the same pair of underwear for 3 months now.
An hour later, a dust storm blew in, bringing with it the first rain in many months. That combination meant for a short while it was actually raining mud, but nobody complained. It was the first relief they'd had in months. That night, we slept under the stars, like these men have done every night since they arrived. The next morning, the heat returned, so stifling I thought I would die. The Marines, however, hardly seemed to notice.
No air conditioning. No running water. But the Marines here do have a weight room. That's what I call priorities.
The food here is filling, but not much else. There are some hot meals, but mostly it's just field rations. But these guys have learned to be creative.
Just mix in the potato sticks, get some cheese with that, jalapeno cheese, mix it all together with the veggie burger, and it tastes pretty good. Almost like a little taco salad, I guess you could say.
That same resourcefulness showed through when it was time to head out on mission.
We're about to go on a patrol up here north in Garmsur.
And what are we looking for?
Taliban.
How do you know the Taliban from the just regular people?
Well, that's what makes them so good. Because it's kind of hard to distinguish until they're shooting at us.
The Marines always bring leftovers from their rations to give away to kids, which goes a long way toward winning friends. This patrol didn't find any Taliban, so the Marines took the opportunity to document the owner of each house, human intelligence for future missions. Overall, it's amazing their morale can be so high despite the brutal conditions. I asked some of them how they do it.
You know, every day when you wake up, you just take out your daily bread and, you know, you read it and you read your verse in the Bible, and pretty much keeps me sane out here.
Generally, yeah, they miss home, but they've been able to bond real close together, and I think morale's pretty good for the situation we're in.
When you put it in perspective and the fact that so many people went before you to fight for your freedom, you can't help but be willing to give a couple of years of your life to fight for, in my case, my daughter's freedom.
After 8 months in the desert, the Marines of 1-6 came home. I caught up with them at Camp Lejeune, where they're already training for their next deployment.
They'll be home about 6-7 months and then head to Iraq. That is the plan so far.
In looking back on their time in Afghanistan, these men say despite the miserable conditions, the mission was worthwhile.
Really glad that we went out there and helped the local populace with everything that we did, helping push out the Taliban and hopefully make their lives a little better and easier.
Part of terrorism is to put fear into people's hearts and minds, and if we can squash that fear, then terrorism hasn't worked.
But more than anything, after this deployment, there's one thing that makes these men the proudest.
As far as my platoon, everybody that I took care of came back. So.
It didn't cost us any lives. God was good to us, and my platoon came home with everybody.
Chuck Holton, CBN News, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.